Welcome to Guns, Guns, Gear, and Guns with Gary Gunderson. I am Gary Gunderson. The New Mexico governor's blanket ban on the Second Amendment was suspended by the courts, which led the governor to have another stellar press conference where she issued an amended order where she violates the Constitution just a little bit in playgrounds and public parks.
We have removed the requirement that open and concealed carry cannot occur until the public health order is either removed or extended anywhere in the city. There's more clarity about the question about the general open carry and concealed carry issue as it relates to a legal decision in New York, the Bruin case. We believe that a suspension is very different from a ban. Court is leaning to determine otherwise.
You need to be able to explain what the difference between
a suspension and a temporary ban
is, or I'm going to burn the building down.
We have amended the public places component of the gun violence aspect of the public health order. That is amended to be focused now, no open or concealed carry in public parks or playgrounds where we know we've got high risk of kids and families. I want to remind everyone that in public government spaces, we don't allow guns in here. We don't allow guns in the federal courthouse. We don't allow guns in the roundhouse. And so we believe that is a strong position given the law.
I disagree with all these post-Bruin ruling laws that are being passed that drastically restrict where you can carry a firearm as a response to needing to issue carry permits. But at least most states go through the legislature for this, and it was not given out from on high due to a so-called emergency, even though it's not enough of an emergency to have a special session. Again, if someone is lawfully carrying in a public park or playground, they are probably there to protect their family. If someone is carrying illegally, your order means nothing.
We need leadership at all levels to remove barriers.
Barriers, such as the Constitution?
Since the week I declared an emergency, we've seen 296 shots fired in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. Violent crime moved through the city that resulted in a gun injury, 2 car hijackings, and a kidnapping with suspects not yet in custody.
Great success.
The governor was asked what she thought of being compared to Al-Qaeda as well as other names.
Of intimidation and fear tactics to prevent elected leaders and policymakers from doing their job. I've been compared to Hitler, to Al-Qaeda, to ISIS, to you name it. That this is not the kind of discourse I recognize in my state or my community.
Well, maybe don't violate the Constitution and put in place authoritarian bans on part of the Bill of Rights. So I think those comparisons are justified.
And I campaigned, frankly, on that I have a bipartisan aspect to getting things done. Ha! But when members of the opposite party make those kinds of hateful, directed, spiteful, intentional, knowing that that intimidation factor could result in my direct harm, it is shocking to me today that, again, the First Amendment would suggest that because I'm a public official, that they can increase hostility and danger and not be held accountable.
Someone get this lady a pocket constitution. She thinks saying mean things should not be protected even though she's a public figure because people could get mad at her. Just like having a firearm is not violent in itself, speech is not violent either.
When it's challenging to do a red flag statute, that should give everyone a sense about how hard it is to discuss this.
Oh, you mean removing firearms, a constitutional right, without due process is controversial? Shocking.
And remember, guns on the streets results in gun violence.
If you are talking about people who have firearms illegally and use them in crimes, then yes, of course. However, conceal carry permit holders are among the most law-abiding group of citizens you can find. So you're only punishing people who are doing their best to comply with the law and also protect themselves.
But we have not been arresting individuals who are breaking the law.
Wait, what? Isn't that step one? Maybe you should have tried that before banning the Second Amendment. That's quite an escalation. Let's see, we could A, arrest people committing crimes, or B, completely suspend part of the Bill of Rights.
I do believe in the rule of law. You can't tell the good guys from the bad guys. If you're just in the public and I see someone that maybe doesn't look to me like they should be outside with a firearm, and someone who appeared, to be in the teens, maybe 19, maybe 18, maybe 15, with an automatic weapon, rifle, laying across their chest, they were terrified. So trying to reduce fear, intimidation, terror.
That sounds like a you problem. If it's legal to carry a firearm openly, it's not the job of a normal citizen to police them if they are not acting in a threatening manner or doing anything illegal. And so one of the reasons behind this order is because someone potentially just looked too young and no one even verified that they were.
But that a restatement that there was no disagreement in that courtroom that gun violence is a problem. And there was no disagreement, my words again, in that courtroom, that this doesn't warrant a public health emergency or a crisis.
To quote the court, although the state of New Mexico raises important safety concerns, at this stage it fails to demonstrate that the public safety concerns overcome the public's interest in preventing constitutional violations. I don't think you can call it an emergency and grant yourself emergency powers, but the point is that in your emergency public health order, you just choke slammed the Constitution in front of everyone. That's the real objection and focus of the lawsuits. What do you think of the new amended order? Do you think even the amended order will be overturned? The court date is set for October 3rd, so I'm certain the arguments will be interesting. If you have made it this far, consider supporting me on Patreon, join the Discord, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Don't forget to also like and share the video as well. Thanks for watching.